The intersection between risk and technology has grown more prominent as banks seek to meet their compliance obligations efficiently and effectively. I'm Emily McCormick. I'm the head of research with Bank Director. Joining me virtually from New York today is Sandeep Mangaraj of Microsoft. We're going to explore these issues a little further. So Sandeep, from a technology perspective, how is risk management evolving?
Hey, thanks, Emily. And great to be here. As risk management is evolving, risk technology is becoming more and more critical. And let's double click on that. So data and getting insights from it has always been central to how risk managers have worked. That hasn't changed. What has changed? There are lots and lots and lots of data. And how do we make sense of it? Things that we used to traditionally look at may not be the right sources of data for us to analyze in today's world. So that's a factor I wanted to highlight. And the second is that risk is becoming more and more critical to business decision making. So, business decision makers are seeing risk as a partner as they're making decisions. So from a technology point of view, what does it mean? I need to get a unified view of all my risks, right, across all exposure types and at different levels of aggregation. It has to be at a product level. It has to be at a desk level. It has to be at a line of business. It has to be regional. It has to be top of the house. And then you go back and forth, right, based on what you're trying to analyze. So that's impacting how technology is enabling risk. And the second is, linked to the point I made around becoming partners of business. Now you cannot rely on end of day reports, right? There's a big focus on getting it timely, almost real time. And so that has been another huge area how technology is becoming a more and more critical enabler of risk management. And then we should not forget risk. Technology also introduces risk, and so risk managers have to make sure that they're using it in a prudent and in a prudent manner.
Well, I want to ask you also about artificial intelligence, because that's one of those areas where we're seeing more interest from the industry, more investment by the industry. So strategically, what should bank leaders be thinking about as they consider adopting AI solutions to enhance their risk and compliance capabilities?
Yeah, AI is, and the use of responsible AI, I think there's a lot that still needs to be done, right? We are still early in our journey. So a framework to use is what makes AI powerful. So the best use cases are where you have a large amount of data and there's a very high noise to signal ratio. So think about transaction monitoring for fraud. Classic case where lots of folks have seen value from AI. So when you are thinking about use cases, where do you get value for risk and compliance capabilities that you manage? I think it's good to go back to basics and think about where AI adds a lot of value. Another area where AI is seeing a lot of value is around what I would call process intelligence and process improvement. So, there's a lot of cognitive services that are available around chat, around voice, and these have enhanced our capabilities in how we deal with the control environment. How do we make sure that we have good controls, not just reactive controls, but proactive controls? As an example, we have a client who uses AI to monitor trader conversations so that you can proactively, flag any compliance issues that may be coming up. So lots and lots of ways in which you can start using it. I think key is identify cases, make sure you have clear measurement of value, monitor it, celebrate it, and then success will breed success.
I love those takeaways. One more question. We've seen rapid acceleration in technology adoption in 2020. How do you see the Regtech and risk space developing further over the next 3 to 5 years?
Yeah, what's going to happen in 3 to 5 years? Yes, the way to think about 3 to 5 years and what's going to happen is look at where I think there's a tremendous momentum, right? And look at, especially with COVID and all the impact that we have had to live through, it's sometimes difficult to say what's permanent, what's not permanent. But if you look at where there is a lot of momentum, I think we can think about where RegTechs need to focus on and where I know they will focus on. So one, I think cloud adoption will get accelerated. I think that ship has sailed. Those who are still sitting on the fence will be forced by customer preference and by competition. So you need to have cloud be a part of your journey. That's inevitable. The second thing we are living through while you and I are chatting over video is the nature of work and collaboration is changing, right? We will need to get comfortable with what are going to be more like, this permanent hybrid models that will be put in place. And whenever we have a new way of doing work, new risks are going to emerge. So need to get ahead of it. So from a risk and compliance point of view, I see a focus continue to increase around operational risk, around resiliency, around cyber risk. This will be top of mind for boards. This will be top of mind for regulators, top of mind for your audience here. So I see that as something that is going to become important. Timely insights and getting it absolutely will stay top of mind. And that's where I see Regtechs going to be challenged and will come up with solutions.
Sandeep, those are fantastic takeaways. Thank you so much.
Thank you.